How's it going, guys? Matt here with Carolina Coops. Welcome to Video Chicken. To my left is my host, Kristen Warren.
I think this one really could be a male.
Oh, we got one that's hatching? This show is for you guys. This is the bass fiber. Y'all know chickens are the gateway drug into homesteading.
We survived with only one trip to the ER.
Coyotes are everywhere.
It's about time you show up, Matt.
Uh-huh.
It's a great straw.
It is time, finally, for chicken police. They defecate every 12 seconds. Is that true? Now it is officially noon because the buzzer went off.
Well, I've never counted.
Long
More
road.
coops
That's a good one with the courts and everything.
and more chickens.
Well, the math you do now, Daddy, is chicken math.
Calm down, Matt.
But-
Calm down.
What's going on, guys? Matt here with Carolina Coops, bringing you Video Chicken live. To my left is my co-host Kristen, our chicken expert.
Hello, everyone.
Got Ingrid behind the computer, the camera, the soundboard, making sure everything looks good, sounds good, and actually just works. How you doing today, Ingrid?
I'm good.
Also, we got someone in the green room we haven't seen in a while. We're going to be bringing her on in a little bit. Should I tell people it is, or should it be a surprise? They might be like, oh, it's been a while. Yay.
Yeah, let's tell her.
Huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you leave it as a surprise.
It's Mackenzie.
Oh my God, way to ruin it. Wow,
Let's get the show off in a good confrontational manner.
Wow, you and I just don't meet eye to eye on some things. People probably like, oh, who could be in the green room? We do have Mackenzie.
See, the issue is that you don't circle back and tell everybody. You'll
I
like
would-
leave these teasers
that is
out
not
there.
true.
And then sometimes you don't.
I circle back when I was like, hey, it's time to bring in our...
Well, this time we would because she's sitting right there. So.
I circle back all the time. No? You're arguing? That needs to be an audio sound effect. Ingrid, do it again. And we got to get the one of Evans. Evans is too quiet. Though. He's like... Speaking of Evan, he's down in the dumps. He's feeling a little bit better. He was looking rough yesterday. But anyways, again, happy Friday. So we got an interesting show today. And what occurred to me is what a great day to have a show where I will try not to use the word I'm not allowed to use, but we're going to be talking about the reason why it'd be important to bring in chickens into your homesteading. Maybe that big popular P word right now, prepping.
Self-sustaining.
Yeah. On Friday the 13th.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Oh.
It is May,
Oh.
Friday the 13th. Again, we are live coming to you from our studio in just north of Raleigh, North Carolina, a little town called Creedmoor. Great little town. We're going to give you guys a second to come in. This is also our way to warm up and just get Kristen out of her system of having to...
What?
You know, and the other thing I always forget to mention...
Wait, what was
to
that?
start arguing with me already.
Oh, was that it?
I mean, my God, I had it all figured out. Suspense. So yeah, we got Mackenzie in the green room because she actually, I found out, with a particular topic we're gonna be talking about today about prepping.
Saving your eggs?
Slow down. Something about that. Something she does, and
Wait
I
a
never
minute.
knew.
I don't think you've ever told me to slow down.
That's true. A lot of times I'm like, hey, come on, let's get with it. So today we're gonna be talking about all the things about prepping, and of course, if you have any questions or comments at all, just as always, leave them in the comments box. And if you don't have any questions or comments, please do us a favor. Give us a wave. Say hi. Let us know where you're watching from. And anything and everything you can do to help promote this show, share the show. I definitely appreciate it. I tell you, it's been going really, really well.
Yeah, it
it's
has.
continuing to grow. Speaking of growth.
We get lots of good feedback.
Yes, I tell you. So speaking of growth, two things. If you are not following me on TikTok, and I just say me because no one else is willing to get in the TikTok video for the most part, Carolina Coops TikTok, boy, it has been blowing up. A lot of great comments, but we're talking more about kind of like pro tips and struggles and things. But more importantly, how are we doing, Ingrid? We're so close. Right now, we are at 49,879 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So
Milestone.
I know that may not sound like much, but that is a huge milestone. I can't wait to get to 100,000. But anyways, I'm assuming if you're watching right now, you have subscribed. If you are not already subscribing,
I have.
You better have. You know what drives me nuts is I do monitor it, and it'll go down one. It's like, who's that one person It's like, no. Anyways, I was hoping today was going to be
Probably somebody that wanted to do a collaboration, and I said no.
Or they're done building their chicken coop and they're just done with you.
so wrong. I was hoping we were going to.
What good are you for me now?
Really?
Yeah.
You think that's what people are thinking?
It could be.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
They don't realize.
It takes a lot to unsubscribe, though. That's like effort.
Yeah.
It's like unfriending and
Yes.
unfollowing. It's like you got to
Sometimes
find
that's
it.
worth the effort, though.
Ooh, just got one. Just went up to 80.
Okay.
880. So I was hoping we were going to break 50,000. And just to start some more controversy, I wanted to figure out who was going to be the 50,000th subscriber and maybe give them a free something. And Ingrid's like, no, and I don't blame you. It's all of a sudden, everyone's like, oh dear, I was 50,000. No, I was 50,000. No, I was 50. Oh,
Well,
geez.
there's a couple of reasons why you can't.
Oh.
Not everybody has a public profile, so they can subscribe to something, and it might be private account, so you wouldn't know. The other thing is, like we learned on Instagram, was what people would do is they would unfollow and then follow to try to hit that mark. And it became such a thing. And I would just rather just reward people by our presence and not give them stuff for being a certain number. Because quite frankly, let's reward the loyal people that have been
Yes,
following us
totally
and subscribing forever.
I know. I love it. I'm just always trying to figure out how to keep more people intrigued and this and that. But I agree. And I like that we do things our way. So Nan just sent me a text, and I always forget to mention it, but it is always fun when she comes in at, we least expect it. Nan is listening in her office, make sure everything sounds good. Her mic is there. And she just sent me something very interesting.
Yep.
Today's a special day.
Besides just being Friday the 13th.
So if my math is correct, would this be 11 years or 12 years ago?
11 years.
11 years ago was my last day as a slave to corporate America. Wow. Yeah, she sent me a picture of me on the front porch with a good friend of mine. Came down from New York, and there's my puppy Bruno. So today, 11 years ago, was my last day as an exterminator officially, and went full board, full-time building chicken coops. I remember at that moment, I was like, well, one, I'll never forget. And if you are out there in this particular situation, listen to me clearly. You're stuck in a cubicle. You're probably making good money, but you are miserable. Get out. Get out when you can. You will not believe how much better life can feel. It's not all about the money. I know that sounds crazy.
And do anything but build chicken coops.
That is true. Do what you want to do. If you truly go out and do what you love to do, you will make money. You will be happy. But I remember that day. I remember pulling home after my last account. And I picked my last account. It was John Deere down in Cary. I'll never forget it. One of my favorite accounts. I literally physically felt 100,000 pounds come off my shoulders. And then I remember thinking, boy, I'm gonna have so much time on my hands now. Yeah, no. But
that's when the fun started.
Yeah, that is when the fun started. But I tell you, I just want to share that with everyone, because I was in the same boat. Corporate America, got the good job. You're playing in the safe zone. No,
I know. It took me like 25 years to get laid off by IBM.
Yeah, I waited 12 years for that day to happen. Yeah, thank God. All right, so Nan, just say hi. Let us know you're there. She might be on the phone. Who knows?
Hi, guys.
There she is.
Hi,
sounding good. So again, we will. Got the comments. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below.
We got a lot of people from California watching, and of course Francine from New Hampshire, and Eric from Southern Washington, Nashville, and Oregon. Oh, everywhere.
Yes. I see Kristen has her chicken poop on. We did a site survey yesterday, and you actually wore your chicken. You got that? I guess we lost Mackenzie for a minute.
Mm-hmm. And I picked up 4 more.
Oh, 4 more.
I should start a little Etsy store for chicken poop.
I would not be surprised if it took off. I honestly wouldn't be. All right. So today we want to talk about prepping. Homesteading.
Driving in today, I realized that I haven't done a lot of show prep for the prepping show. And
you didn't prep for the prepping show?
And that's ironic, isn't it?
So
I called my friend who does this a lot. I mean, just almost obsessed with it. And I was like, give me everything you know in the next 10 minutes.
About prepping.
Yeah.
Well, there is a question I have for you. Have you done your damn homework yet?
No.
Why? How hard is it? We all want to know that brand new bale of hemp from the new hemp company.
It's off site. That's the problem. It's not at my house.
I don't ask for
Sorry.
much, do I?
I was there last night, but it was
Yeah.
after dark, and
Even better, shine that light. Let's see if it really is the lowest dust possible in the hemp for starters, which they showed us on camera, but now we have it in our possession. Also, okay, so, and don't forget too, right here, I noticed when we were watching the promo, we used to have a wider shot, and I hope you guys still like the close-up shot, but we don't get to see a lot of. It's actually probably good.
the messy desk.
Yeah,
Who
it's
wants to
awful.
see that?
This table in front of
terrible.
us is incredible. Here's
Man,
that
what
gold.
a random mirage. I mean, it was just like such a random.
Here is that golden bell. We haven't rung it in about 3 or 4 shows. I would love to be able to offer another free shirt to someone that gets the golden bell. If you leave a comment question that I absolutely love, especially if it's contributing to the show and to our viewers, or you make me laugh my butt off, that's just as good too. I will say though, I noticed something. After last week's show, someone did leave a comment, and I loved it so much that I said, please join next week's show. And if I see you're there, I would love to acknowledge their comment and give them the bell. But I'm going to make them work for it. I really love.
Sounds like a setup to me.
Yeah.
You guys are going to love this.
Okay.
And this person said, well, I hope I'll be there. So if you're listening, you know who you are. Comment. Let me know you're here. I don't remember the exact name, but once I see it, I can go back to last week's show. They left a comment I really, really like. So we're going to get started. A couple more minutes. 12:15 is when everyone really starts to get in here. If you're just joining us, welcome to Video Chicken Live. It is Friday the 13th. Talking about prepping. The reason for this, too, which we got Mackenzie still sitting in the green room, we're going to bring in here in a little bit. She's the one that came up with this idea. She said, Matt, you'll not believe how many people are calling, freaking out right now, going, I got to get a chicken coop as fast as possible.
Right.
So if you don't know what's going on in the world right now, it is scary.
Yeah, we're seeing food shortages, and now on the East Coast, a diesel gas shortage. So that's going to affect all sorts of things. And so we're not sure. And it's always nice to grow your own food. It's healthier. It's convenient. It's fun. It's good for your mental health.
There are
Right,
so many.
Ingrid?
Yes.
So even if doomsday doesn't happen,
Buzzer.
you've got
7.
You've
You're not allowed to say it. I was told I'm not allowed to say
we
doomsday.
didn't say that. We just
nobody
said,
said I couldn't say it.
We just said to not. Yeah, put your puppet on. No.
So anyhow, if nothing, if no food shortages or anything like that really doesn't happen, you can always use your food. Like, this is not gonna. There's no harm done being prepared.
The other thing about growing
This is
your
actually a lot of fun.
I know, isn't it? I couldn't
that
stop
puppet's
doing it.
amazing. The other thing about growing your own food too, if you think about it, I mean, part of the problem with the shortages and with the gas prices is if you grow your own food, or if you get food locally, it's less gas miles. It's food miles, what they call it. And people don't really think about that. They don't think about that lettuce that they bought has traveled all the way across the country. Whereas if you get lettuce from me, I picked it 5 minutes ago, and it will last in your fridge like 2 weeks at least without getting gross. It seems to last so much longer because it's freshly picked. So everything you get in the store
That's a good point.
has been picked and harvested and packaged and, been in a truck and traveling. So it's not as fresh. So even if you can't grow your own, shop local as much as possible.
And things like strawberries, the strawberry season here in North Carolina, and there is nothing like the fresh strawberries in North Carolina. And I've learned that the strawberries we get year round are not as tasty because they're grown and selected for their durability. They have to have a longer shelf life, and they have to travel a long way to get to where they're going, and they're not grown for the taste because the tastiest, juiciest ones don't travel well.
Isn't that called GMO?
No, it's just a.
But even
They are modifying the food so much to stay beautiful and have a very long shelf life. Are you kidding me? I have customers that are scientists that have talked to me about this. And it's interesting, their opinion, because they're like, it's not that big of a deal. We're just changing a couple things so that it lasts longer. It's going to help feed more people and not.
Well, then there's breeding and selection,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's GMO.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's true.
You know, they're two separate things.
I'm just saying, I know for a fact, and I've seen it, especially as an exterminator, where these scientists, and they're brilliant people to figure out how to produce food that are insect resistant so that it lasts longer. So to that point that you guys are talking about, that is so important because they've had to create these huge farms to grow a large amount of food, and to be able to feed the country, it does have to travel a long ways.
Mm-hmm.
So not only are you going to be burning up fuel, you're going to be reducing your personal shelf life because that shelf life starts once it's picked.
Right.
So that's an interesting point. Real quick.
And nutrients decline as well over time.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, yeah. So many great reasons. That's what we want to get into here. We don't want to bore you guys, but we're going to get into prepping. And there's something fascinating I had no idea existed. So, and Mackenzie said, I already do that. So we're going to be bringing Mackenzie in a little bit. Hopefully she's prepared. We haven't talked to Mackenzie in a while. God knows she has been very, very busy. I can't wait to talk a little bit about how sales have been going. She's been doing it for 3 or 4 months, and she's going to be down here next Tuesday. So might be able to have her in on the show for next week's show. I'm not sure what we're doing.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of fun. So if you want to know a way to supposedly preserve your eggs for a very long time, we're going to be talking about it. Don't say it. See it? You feel it? What the hell is he talking about? I got to stick around. See how that works? All right. Real quick. Nikki Wagner. Happy Friday. Wagner. Why is this?
Just trust me.
I am sorry, Nikki, if I'm saying it wrong. Why is there an O then?
It's just the way it is.
Happy Friday. I'm getting chicks
Matt,
next week and have our American Coop finish. Congratulations. Leave some comments on how that went. Would love to hear your feelings on keeping them in the coop with the entrance to the run blocked off.
Perfect. Make sure you block off the nesting boxes as well.
Yep.
Well, if they're
Just
getting
a piece of cardboard should do it. They have their coop before their chicks.
She's talking about blocking off the run to the hen house.
No.
Okay. Well, she's got baby chicks.
Keeping them in the coop in the hen house.
See, that's where I get confused.
With the hen house
because when we say coop, we're talking about hen house and run, but she's referring to just the hen house. Mm-hmm. Yes, keep them in the hen house.
That would
block
work
off
great.
that opening. That is my favorite way to do it. Mm-hmm. Make sure, depending on how old they are, if they need a heat source, that's the only time you're going to want to have a heat source inside your hen house. That's the only time you're going to have food and water inside the hen house. Block off the egg hutch, as Kristen is saying. And then I would say you keep that entrance, that opening that they'll go from the hen house down into the run closed off.
Until they're fully feathered.
Until they're fully feathered, which is about
5 to 7 weeks.
5 to 7 weeks. And keep the opening to the egg hutch covered until...
Yes. Same. I mean, no, that should be covered until they're ready to lay.
About 20, 21 weeks, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is we don't want to create bad habits, but also when you do open that up, and chickens are such curious creatures, you're going to know when they're ready to get down there. So you will absolutely love it. What Kristen will say, though, is make sure that doesn't mean you're not going to go out there and spend some time with them, because you say that's one of the disadvantages of using the hen house as a brooder.
But it also helps the chickens know that that's where they're supposed to be at night.
Yes. I couldn't agree more. It's the easiest way.
Yeah.
So I see the audience is still growing. Thank you for coming in. We're going to get started here soon. We're going to be talking a lot about prepping and a way to keep your eggs to last even longer. I never heard of this. I can't wait to learn about this. And come to find out, our very own Mackenzie up in New York, who's been working hard at sales, has been doing this. I had no idea.
Let's bring her in.
We will. We got, we already passed 12:15.
Yeah.
All right, well, hold on. A couple more things for show notes.
Okay.
This is important. And we should talk about a little of this when Mackenzie comes in, but we need our audience. We need our viewers' help, apparently.
Oh,
Matt did it again.
what? What'd you do?
It should be a song. What are you talking about? So,
Yeah, nobody knows what you're talking. You do this preamble all the time, and you never get to the point. And we're all like, what is he talking about?
are you ready?
Yeah.
The ramp.
That's what I thought you might say.
See?
Did you see my video yesterday that I sent you?
Can you play that, Ingrid?
I tried to, but it was so darn small, I couldn't see it. Here's the point, folks. Out there, let us know what you think. I tell you, truth be told, I'm just trying to make everyone happy. And do I like the squeaky wheel gets the grease? No. However, when someone says, Matt, you have an opportunity for an improvement here, do it. I like to do that. However, the argument right now is Matt, but that's the 1%, if that. Everyone else loves the ladder. Everyone else has no problem with the ladder. And what I'm hearing is they like the ladder more for the looks than they do potentially the function for the chickens. So that's a tough argument. So what do we do?
I like it for both. Because it doesn't, you can have, and I did look up industry standard. We need to pull up that picture for industry standard, but you can have a steeper ladder or ramp if you use the ladder style.
I agree.
And then that takes up less room in your chicken coop.
I agree. Oh, these are great pictures. Ingrid's about to bring up some good stuff. So here's what's going on. We have some people like, Matt, that ladder just doesn't work. And what I wanted to do is just try to standardize something that's going to make everyone happy, even my silky customers.
I won't be happy.
So I listened to my team, and they are not happy. So I think I'm going to backtrack a little. All right, here, let's watch this. Good job, Ingrid. So, ooh.
Sorry, my barred rock's noisy.
Excellent audio.
Look at that. Oh, that must be a really talented chicken to make it up that ladder like that.
Okay, let's get back to you guys. I know. And right after that, quite frankly, my
Why'd you cut it out so early?
because then
That was it.
yeah, and then
She
I
made it up the
All right,
ladder.
let's play that again. In case you guys didn't catch it. Hold on. Screen share. Hold on. So oh my God, that is just textbook.
They didn't screen share. We didn't screen share.
I know. I was going to have you do. I wanted to go back.
Okay.
All right. Wow. Ingrid, excellent shot.
Can you see?
That is it. That is it right there, folks. It's just that
seems
easy.
So effortless for
It
them.
does. And here's what I'm trying to explain to people. And even the straw that broke the camel's back, where I was like, you know what? I'm going back to the ramp. He said, Matt, with the steps, they when they go up, they don't have anything to push against. But because it is a step, they're not technically pushing against anything. May I for a second for our viewers?
well,
I think they're
please.
going to appreciate that.
The dueling mouse issue. Okay.
No,
Who's going to win?
Okay, so I want people to see this. I wish we had it in slow motion.
And right after that, though, the well summer that I got from you, Kristen, she like zoomed right up there, and I missed it. 'Cause
Did she skip a step?
No, she like literally like she had to lay an egg. But this one's like 5 years old. This chicken.
Great shot, Ingrid. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is what I mean, folks. 99.999% of your chicks are going to have no problem. And the ladder does look good. But
I like that the poop doesn't get caught up in
exactly.
And if it does, I just like scrape it right off and it goes right down on the ground.
And it's not really visible. Whereas the ramp, you're just looking at chicken poop on a ramp.
The one thing about the ramp, though, I'll say, not the really long ramp, but the other ramp is, like, my chickens don't walk down that ladder. They do fly down. And that's not a problem, except for maybe with my older one, but she still manages.
So
I don't know if she would walk down regardless.
what? Okay. Bottom line is, I do love our ladder, and I don't want to mislead people thinking there's something wrong with the ladder. There's not. But at the end of the day, we have to make a decision. I believe we made a decision as a team that we will offer it as an option.
Which one?
The ramp.
Yep.
We'll stick with the ladder. That's what everyone's gotten to know.
Whew.
But now we're not going to say what it is.
What?
And this is going to drive people nuts. When we did our site survey yesterday, once again, this is what I love about this
she's
business.
watching. She commented.
Oh, nice.
Hi, Beth.
Our customers give us the best ideas. Our job is to figure out how to execute on it. That's what I love about this business. We sat there in her living room, just having a great conversation, especially about, I wonder what her thoughts were on the potential show coming up where we might have two very well-known chicken experts. I'm going to try to get them on. Remember that, Ingrid? That should be interesting. She came up with a great idea to solve our ramp ladder problem.
Really?
Yep. So I'm going to leave it at that. Such a simple idea, and those are the best ideas, but going to be a little challenging to execute. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, listen, if you are on the fence right now thinking about getting a chicken coop, it will come with that ladder. But if you want the ramp, we're going to have some videos showing side by side, and that's a great example of a video we can use. The reason why people have a problem with the ladder is if you got maybe an older hen that has a bum leg and they think they're having difficulty with the ladder, they'll probably have more difficulty with the ramp.
No, my old chicken with the bum leg goes up that ladder. Like she needs. I think she would have harder time. I don't know.
Yeah.
But she goes up the ladder fine.
So I tell you, there's the old saying, the customer's always right, but the other nice thing about this business is not always.
Well, she had a good point yesterday. She said, you know what? These people, your customers, are coming to you.
Mm-hmm.
And if they were not happy with that ramp or ladder, they would go somewhere else. But they want that ladder.
Well, okay, that's true. They're coming to us
want
for
the
our
whole
expertise,
package,
but that not
yeah.
always true. They expect it, but all of a sudden they have these chickens, and they're like, oh, they're jumping down halfway. It must be the ladder. It's not.
That is normal chicken behavior.
It is. Just think about it. When they're going in and out of the
Mm-hmm.
trees, they didn't build a ladder out of twigs, and there you go, Rosetta. There you
Yeah.
go. So anyways, all right, I know Mackenzie's busy. Let's go ahead and bring Mackenzie in from the green room, and let's go ahead and get this show started. And Ingrid did some slides, too. I can't wait to see them. And I have a lot to learn here. I'm excited. You ready, Mackenzie? She's like, yeah, I was born ready. We're going to put her to the right.
What? I am doing it. Why is it not going?
Oh, boy.
It's the dueling mouses.
Oh, there she is. Yeah, the dueling. Hopefully her,
Oh,
What?
that shouldn't matter.
No, you are correct. I was just testing.
There we go.
There's
There's
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie.
How you doing, Mackenzie?
Warm, busy, but it's good.
Yeah. So
I
how's
think
sales?
it's hotter here than down there today.
It is. It's actually tomorrow. It's going to be hotter in Maine than it is in upstate New York, and same down here. It's just the way the weather is. Well, you're welcome. I'm glad there's finally some warm weather. I can't wait for you to get down here next week. Way overdue.
It's been since December.
Yeah, I think that's the last time I was probably hungover too. So let's not do this again, okay?
That was not my fault.
It was totally your fault. Who knew whiskey and pickles are going to be so good together?
Oh.
Really? Anyways, how's it been? Real quick, how's it been doing sales? You've been doing it what, 3 months?
I don't know.
Okay, so that good, huh?
The days sometimes go by very quickly and sometimes do not.
Gotcha.
It's a lot of being on the phone, which is opposite of what I was doing before.
Yes, and this is where a lot of people, it's so hard to get people ready for sales. It's like you have no idea how much you're going to be on the phone. So
I love talking.
So if you guys have called in and you've talked to Mackenzie, there she is. That is the lovely Mackenzie, who's a chicken lady herself.
That's right.
And unbeknownst to me, she mentioned that she's been doing this practice of how to preserve your eggs even longer. And also, Mackenzie said, Matt, we're getting a lot of calls. People are freaking out. Food factories are blowing up. There's this food shortage. There's nothing on the shelves. They need a chicken coop now. So in a weird way, I mean, it's sad to hear this, but I'm glad people are going, hey, it's time to survive. And this is actually a good thing for them. Mackenzie, do you have your preservation of eggs? Is that the right way to put
Yeah,
it?
she doesn't.
Well, we use them all.
She.
And I have about 6 pickles left in my pickle jar, so I can't show and tell it.
I do have a slide though on it.
Okay, let's
But I
we'll
don't know.
continue the audio. Start the slideshow then. We'll leave you.
Well, okay. Hang
In
on.
all honesty, I thought it was Saturday today.
Hang on a second. Here we go. So this is about water glassing eggs.
So that's it. Water glassing.
Yes.
All right,
That's really a cool term.
So
too.
someone explain.
I like that.
Explain to our viewers, what in the world is water glassing eggs, please?
In the most simple term, it's a way to preserve your eggs. People like me who practically live in the tundra, my chickens don't lay eggs in the wintertime. So in substituting having to go to the grocery store, buy eggs when I have 10 perfectly capable chickens that are freeloading in my backyard, I preserve them through colder months.
So the audio is breaking up a little bit. I think it's so close that we can make out what you're saying. So I apologize. I don't know if you have a mic and headphones you can separate. I think it's cutting you out. We're gonna give Mackenzie a second to see if we can fix that real quick, if you don't mind, Mackenzie, because I definitely want to keep you in on this. Again, I am so surprised that she was doing this, and so
She does a lot of canning too.
So if you are gonna, so she makes a good point. Okay, egg production goes down in the winter,
Right.
because daylight shortens, right? And we're also told that it's not a good idea to add artificial lighting because that's a time that the hen needs to use protein for other reasons, right? For molting,
Yes.
okay? Because there's always that conversation: should you add artificial lighting or not? But if you're getting an abundance of eggs throughout the spring and summer, you're saying go get a big pickle jar like you see right here. Fill it up with water
And hydrated lime, distilled water, or spring water. Hydrated lime, which you can find. They call it pickling lime or slaked lime.
What?
Yeah, so lime.
It's just a powder.
Yeah, so lime is calcium oxide, but hydrated lime is calcium hydroxide. So, and that's what they use for like pickling.
All right. So let's back up, especially for the people that are going to be listening to us when we're not live, listening to a podcast, and you don't see these wonderful pictures. So that means you need to show up here noon Eastern every Friday. So, okay, so you're going to take a big pickle jar is what we're seeing here. And the first thing is start with some. Oh, shoot. The audio may. No, I'm
it's
so
worse.
sorry. It's actually worse.
Do you think because we're not in interview mode now?
No.
Okay.
No.
You can use a 3-gallon bucket. You can use any food.
Oh, so it doesn't have to be sealed. Okay, so let's start from the very beginning.
Yeah,
Again.
I've seen people use a 5-gallon bucket.
Yep.
Okay, hold on. All right, so we need a container that's going to hold eggs and water.
Right.
And we don't have to worry about if it has to be sealed or not.
It should be sealed, but it should be secure. But I mean, those food safe buckets have a secure lid because when you try
Okay,
to
so
open them.
when you say bucket, not many of us picture a lid on it. But okay, so you have to have a nice, tight fitting lid to the bucket. Okay, so you're going to fill the whole thing up with eggs. Fresh eggs, clean eggs, unwashed eggs.
Yes.
Okay, easy enough. Okay, I'm sure no one has any questions. If you do, leave them in the comment section. All right, then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to put in the hydrated lime.
Yeah, you mix the hydrated lime and the water first.
Well, it says distilled or spring water.
Right, or water that you leave. If you use water from your tap, you have to let it be out uncovered for 24 hours to evaporate any of the chemicals, I believe.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, one of my favorite subjects. When I grew coral, I had no idea how bad city water is for us. So actually, thank you, Father, for raising me on a well. I had no idea.
Yeah, well, I use it. I mean, I make kombucha or kefir water, any kind of water that you do for any kind of food preservation. If you don't have distilled or spring water, that's what you can do.
All right, so to play it safe, distilled or spring water, reverse osmosis maybe.
And you use the ratio of 1 quart of water to 1 ounce of hydrated lime.
Okay, so
whatever.
hydrated lime. Is it a powder? Is it another liquid?
Yep, it's a powder.
Mackenzie's busy. She's still in the green room. She's going to get this going. Let me know when you're ready. Just sound off, Mackenzie, when we get a sec. See if we can master this audio. No, she's like, what? Maybe she probably can't even hear us now.
Yeah.
All right, so it's a powder, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to mix it up and then dump it in because you're not going to be able to mix it if you put it separately into a thing of eggs.
No, you haven't added the eggs yet. You're just mixing the water and the hydrated
Aha.
lime first.
Okay, but not in the container you're going to put the eggs in.
Yes.
Well, how do you know your displacement? You feel me?
You don't fill it all the way
You
up.
might be overcomplicating.
I'm
it.
not overcomplicating it. This is why I love having this conversation because
Kenzie, what do you think? Was it
I
easy?
think I've run out of headphones to try.
you sound
No,
so
you sound
much
good.
better.
You
Much
sound
better.
This is what I had it on the first time.
No,
It could have just been a Wi-Fi thing.
My internet stinks.
Yeah, and there's an echo, but we'll try to get through it.
So Matt's asking Kenzie, how do you know how much liquid to put in if you're putting the eggs in afterwards?
Can we see her?
I
Switch
make
to that.
an excess of it. So I typically start with about 5 quarts of water and 5 ounces of the pickling lime. And I just use the packet. I buy it at Runnings. It's like $3. It's Mrs. Wage's pickling lime. And it lasts forever.
So the audio's still cutting out. I apologize. I know how painful it is. I know, Mackenzie. I'm so sorry. Maybe we'll recap next week when you are here, because I'd love to have you down here in the studio. Maybe you and Kristen could do the show. I'll take a break, or maybe I'll get to sit next to Ingrid over there, and I get to run the audio and really play with some things. So
I never know what to do with my hands when I'm on the show.
you
Like,
just do
in
whatever.
person.
That's what I do. Or I get in trouble a lot. I play with nipples. Drinking nipples for those people listening
Yeah,
on the
I mean,
podcast.
please, we do have a podcast. Let's be specific.
Yeah,
Drinking
let's-
nipples. Anyways.
Let's move those off the table.
No, you always take them out of my hands, and I don't know why.
Well, only if your fidgeting makes noises next to the microphone. That's the only reason I take stuff out of your hand.
This is called fidgeting, and no, you cannot hear it. Anyways, all right. So you know what, Mackenzie? Maybe next week when you're down here, we'll tell you what to do with your hands while you're in front of the camera. People will love it.
Fidget also.
Yes, and we got to talk about what next week's show is going to be. So,
Yeah, that would be nice to know.
all right.
Let's
Yeah, I can totally. We can recap next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenzie.
Bye, guys.
It's good to see you. Can't wait to see you next week.
Yay.
I'll
All
be
right.
there.
You better. All right. So, sorry about that, folks. I was hoping to bring Mackenzie in. We haven't seen her in so long, and she has just been a busy bee doing sales, answering.
It was nice to see her on the
Yes.
show.
So it's
And
on keynote.
here's the thing. Go ahead, bring a keynote. Here's the fun fact about Mackenzie. She's ridiculously smart.
Mm-hmm.
I am
She's a very multifaceted, interesting person.
exactly. I mean, she can go from being able to have a conversation with a turkey
Mm-hmm.
to full on bow hunting
Mm-hmm.
to like she went to college for psychology. I'm just like, wow. Anyway, so that's the Mackenzie. I love smart people. Okay, so here we go. Let's back up. So we're gonna preserve eggs. If you're just joining us, we're talking about water glassing eggs. And here's why I love this, because I have no clue. So I'm sure there's a lot of people going, well, what the hell do I do first? So you have a container, and you're saying you're gonna mix up in that container distilled or spring water with some hydrated lime. And what was that ratio again?
It's 1 quart of water to 1 ounce of the hydrated lime.
So maybe next week you and Mackenzie should do this live so
Yeah.
people can actually see it, because I'm going to prove a point. If you do it this way, it's going to be more complicated. Where what you should do is put your eggs in the container, because that's the larger item. Mix up your water and hydrated lime in another container, and then you fill it up. You don't have to worry about.
But you have to add the eggs to the liquid pointy side down, which is not going to happen if you throw the eggs in the bucket first.
Oh, boy. Okay.
I'm starting to save some eggs, so
Wow. Okay, so that makes good sense.
We
So
should
you,
have some. for
you
next
actually
week.
have to position the egg. You know, a lot of people don't know this. You point it side down whenever you
Well, it
store
says
eggs.
right there on the slide.
I know. You know what? One, I don't like reading. Two, I haven't made it that far. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So great point. All right. So then you got to put your eggs in the container, point it side down, keep the nice big fat round part up. And what is the reason for that? Because I know there's people wondering. Not everyone at once.
it's the air pocket that forms.
Exactly.
Is
Keeps
on
it up
the,
at the
is
top.
on the fat end, yeah.
It's on the fat end. So you got to keep that up. What happens if you flip it the wrong way and store it?
It's the yolk. It's the air pocket's on the top, right?
It probably the yolk is off center.
Yeah.
So we all know an egg. Okay, this one's a fake egg. Oh,
Yes. Yes.
don't let me forget.
We won't.
Don't let me forget. Guys, if you didn't catch last week's show, go back and watch it. What a happy
Especially
ending.
the end, yeah.
And I couldn't be happier. I love when people get to get acknowledged for all their hard work and things like that. And we have someone, we have no idea who they are, send you guys some gifts. And I was very happy, but selfishly felt a little left out. Next thing you know, a box arrives for me.
Yeah.
And I have not opened it yet.
It just they didn't all come at once. That
They
was
didn't-
the problem.
Yeah, so I got an unboxing coming up towards the end of the show. I can't wait to see it. So, anyways, pointed side down, the air pocket, the natural that's going to be already in your egg is going to be up top. Now, when they're fresh, there's hardly any air pocket, right?
Right.
And as they age, that air pocket will increase. It's actually a form of a gas, right, inside. So that's why when you go to test if your egg is fresh or not, if it starts to float, you know it's getting old. But I can't remember exactly why. It's probably in one of the books, but I'm sure you know. It'll come back to you. That if you have it like this, it ruins the egg faster, if I remember correctly, because it's fighting to go up.
That makes sense.
Yes. So point it side down inside there. We're going to mix the hydrated lime with the distilled water or spring water. Gently add eggs to the liquid. Okay, so we're gonna fill up the container, point it with the eggs.
Yeah,
point
and
it side down.
I think to your point that you could probably mix the liquid and hydrated lime in another container, fill up what you're gonna, put it like 3/4 or whatever, and then you can also you can top it off with the liquid so you don't displace all the water. Since you wanted to be all sciencey about it.
Well, it's not sciencey.
I think you're just being critical.
I am not being critical. These are just things we think about. All right, so we're gonna fill it up.
All right.
And put a cap on it.
That's right.
That's it.
Store in a cool, dark location. And then in the winter, you have fresh eggs.
You're kidding me. Why?
Why? Because you don't want the heat to ruin the...
No. Okay, let me rephrase my question.
Okay.
Why does water glassing preserve the eggs so much longer?
Because it's not exposed to oxygen.
Isn't there oxygen in the water?
Well, there's
Oh, boy.
H2O. There's hydrogen and oxygen to it.
Sounds like we have some homework to do because these are things I can't help but wonder.
It's like pickling. It's canning. It's the same thing. You're preserving it by giving it this liquid that has a preservative in it, which is the hydrated lime, and you're sealing it and you're storing it in a cool, dry place. Now the egg is not exposed to the elements because the eggs are porous. Now it's
kind of sealed up without freezing because that ruins the egg in order to be able to use it for making for breakfast, but you can still use it for baking. But okay, I would love next week. Can we do this? Can we add this to your homework list, please? And I'm sure our viewers would love to know more. We've learned that we can preserve eggs longer. For how long if we water glass them?
Oh, I mean, I guess it would be like canning. A year.
I don't know.
If I had done my prep, I'd have answers for you. I'm sorry.
I guess that's what I was expecting.
No.
I'm sorry, bro.
It is a long time, though.
Yes.
I thought I heard it was 2 years.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
We might have some comments on that.
Okay, I was just going to bring that up. If anybody out there has done this, please add your questions and comments to it, especially your comments, your experience, because I want to know. Because people always ask, okay, wait a minute, what do you mean don't refrigerate your eggs? I'm going to put them out in a basket like you see in this picture here. You still can't see it. How long are they going to last? And there's been studies on that. And to your are surprised, they actually last a very long time. But if you pickle them or put them in distilled water with hydrated lime, you're saying that you potentially could have eggs last up to 2 years.
I thought that's what it was.
Yeah, like if you take a cucumber and you pickle it and make a pickle out of it, how long does it last in the supermarket?
That is fascinating.
And you can pickle boiled eggs as well. I love pickled eggs, especially pickled bantam eggs because they're just one bite. They're so good.
And I just want to point out that Nikki Wagner said, yes, that's how her name is pronounced.
Which one? Wagner or Wagner?
Wagner. She has been on the show, and you said it wrong the first time, and I corrected her.
Okay, I'm so sorry. But anyways, thank you for being a common viewer here, a repeat viewer, fun fan. Fun. What did you call them?
Repeat listener?
No, Ingrid always uses a term.
Well, we have our chicken community.
Yeah, geez. We got to get better with our lingo around here. Anyways, so next week, when Mackenzie's down here, I expect homework to be done. I'm going to have some questions sitting over there. And I would like to see you and Mackenzie pickle eggs live, please. And I'm going to ask some questions like...
pickling requires...
Oh, God. Okay, wrong term.
I know. I can...
Water glassing.
You typically boil the eggs first, and then you put them in a pickling solution with
if
all
you're
sorts
gonna
of,
pickle,
like,
I
spices
am
and
sorry.
stuff.
We're going to take some fresh eggs. We're going to make sure they're clean. We're going to make sure they're unwashed so we don't remove the bloom. And we're going to put them in a container, point it side down, and we're going to make this solution, and we're going to fill it up, and we're going to write some stuff on it like there. You know what we'll do is we'll let it sit. And we'll open it up in 5 years. Be like a time capsule. And then we'll see if we get sick after we eat them.
So Laura said that you're overcomplicating it. Mix water and lime in a jar or bucket, add eggs, and seal lid.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
She's making it. I mean, I wanted to get
I'm
specific.
not overcomplicating it because what happens if you didn't make enough solution? I'm just saying, what is this? My point will be proven next week. I'll guarantee it. Live.
I'll probably not show up next week.
Not an option.
Okay.
Thank you. But this is amazing. So for people that are prepping.
Oh, here we go.
Ooh.
No,
Thank you, Lisa.
Lisa
Yes,
Haymaker.
Lisa to the rescue as always.
Water glassing keeps bacteria from getting inside your eggs thanks to the lime water solution, which is extremely alkaline. Bacteria and microorganisms simply cannot grow in this environment. It's also important to wash the lime water off your eggs before you use them, which I said on the last thing that you didn't read. A drip of lime water could cause your eggs to curdle.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
So-
Okay.
Now, I didn't do this. I do a lot of other preserving, but I hadn't done water glassing, so I did have to look this stuff up. So
Yeah, I had no idea. So I would love to know. And I'm sure our viewers would love to know, and they're going to have questions. And if you're watching right now, you have questions for next week's show, I promise we will have homework done. And I'm sure Mackenzie is still listening. She's probably already canceled her flight now.
and who can blame her?
No. She loves this stuff. I think you guys would be amazed. She just blows me away sometimes on the things that she knows. So this is fascinating because we live in a day, a time right now where things are very scary. And a sad truth, fear drives our business. And I'm proud, that we get to offer solutions for people that are like, I might need to kind of do things the way my grandparents did or my great-grandparents.
It's really a hobby that can feed you.
Yes.
Speaking of which,
Pets that can feed you.
Yeah, so let's go through the slides. You worked so hard on this as well.
No,
Let's do it.
So let me go back to this
Please.
other one.
I love it.
So you can read this.
No, go ahead, Ingrid.
Transform your property into something more sustainable. So whether they call it a foodscape or edible landscape or food forest, and you can have things growing all year round. And what I love to say is plant in the hell strip. So that's the area between your sidewalk and your street that people have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why is it called a hell strip?
I don't know. That's what it's called.
I've never heard of that before.
My only concern with that is people walking their dogs might pee on it.
Yeah, they do. And I always tell people, I have a big rosemary plant, and I said, help yourself to my neighbors. I said, just don't take anything from the bottom. 'Cause you never know with dogs. But,
yeah.
I mean, I'm aware of that. We've actually, ours is pretty long. We put a little path in the middle in case people want to cross through.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just my property that I've done. I mean, I'm not expecting people to always do this. Do as much where every square inch is pretty much usable and farmed.
Right, but this is the future, and I love
Yeah.
it. I absolutely love it. As long as, again, you got your conspiracy theorists that say things like, well, the government doesn't let you harvest your own rainwater, and they're not going to want you to grow your own food. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Well, I also don't have an HOA, so I'm able to do this in my front yard and my side yard where some people probably couldn't. But we started out with just a few beds on a 1/4 acre property. And in a couple of years, we not only transformed the property, but we transformed the soil, which in North Carolina is something you have to do because it's all red clay.
Okay.
Oh, and Ingrid, how many pounds are you getting out of your garden?
Well, I think maybe the next slide.
Okay.
So this is just some examples of like a 4x4 raised bed. We got 15 pounds of string beans.
That's amazing.
2 beds of cucumbers got over 200 pounds of cucumbers. We were giving them out to like the FedEx guy and the UPS. We're like, Oprah, you get a cucumber, you get a cucumber. So it doesn't take much if you grow smart. If you don't overcrowd things or stuff, certain things produce a lot. Beans, for instance, if you continue to pick them, they will produce more. So you get a long growing season with beans. We grow vertically a lot. So you can use pole beans if you don't have a big space for them to, or you could do like pole beans and then have something in a bed underneath it.
Yeah, and you have a picture there of the purple beans, which are just really lovely too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And there's all different kinds of things oh my God.
Shh, sorry. Go on. Wow, they're stepping their game up.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So Matt just saw some comments from
who's
maybe
out,
a porn site
who's
or something.
out there right now commenting on a live show?
Are they really going to get people to go there?
Probably. I mean,
Yeah.
who's
Not our
are
listeners.
you kidding
They're
me?
much
I'm just,
more interested in this stuff.
as you guys are talking about something that I'm trying to stay interested in, and it's amazing what they're doing. It is the future, but I tell you, I just don't. I don't know, but it's okay. So I just want to make sure if there's any questions or comments while you guys are talking about this that we got their attention. And there was some. Wow, someone's got too much time on their hands. Carolina Coop sales. So that's Mackenzie right now. I can make pickled eggs too, mustard pickles. So should we do that next week?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do that next week. I think that'd be great. Ingrid, you on board?
Sure.
And Barbara Vance there says that she looked it up. Water glassed eggs last 1 year to 18 months.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
That is pretty good.
That is amazing because that gets you back to when the chickens should start producing again.
And
Well,
it's pretty easy
if they
too.
last that long. Yeah.
You don't even have to have a stove to heat it up.
I'm blown away. I'm blown away by a couple things. One, I've never heard of it. And two, that just goes to show you how awesome eggs are. And that seems very simple to
It's
do.
the easiest way to grow your own protein.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. All right, so moving on to some other slides here. So again, you got some more shots of Ingrid and her husband Sean feeding the chickens.
Yeah, so I just wrote, you can make fruit trees and berries, herbs, flowers, vegetables, and of course chickens part of your homestead. So
Yeah. And the nice thing about chickens is they're nature's recycler. Anything that you're not going to eat out of the garden or out of your kitchen, give it to your chickens and it turns into either an egg or fertilizer. It's just
Yeah, it doesn't go
perfect.
to waste.
Right.
It's such a great feeling.
And this is preserve your harvest and save your seeds.
I
Oh,
heard
yeah,
it's
don't-
illegal.
yeah.
I heard it's illegal to save your seeds.
Only if they're GMO.
Yeah, only if they're Well,
Yeah, because
GMO
there's patents on those seeds.
you can.
Isn't this fascinating?
This is going to get me all up.
No, that's fine. You are
Ingrid,
free.
isn't Tizzy?
Please, I
You're gonna get
love
Tizzy.
everything you have to say. Please, we want to hear it.
Yeah, I had one of my neighbors give me tomatoes, and he said, I've used these seeds for years from
Yeah.
these tomatoes, and they're perfectly acclimated to our neighborhood.
You can't. The Monsanto seeds you cannot preserve. But if you grow heirloom tomatoes, you can preserve your own seeds. And some people think like, oh, how do you get the seeds out of the tomatoes? And there's an easy way to preserve tomatoes. The seeds is you take, and it's up in the upper right there. But it's you take a tomato. You're always supposed to take your best tomato, but I like to eat my best tomato. But theoretically, you're supposed to take your best specimen tomato, and you squeeze it into a ball jar or a jar of any kind, and you get all the pulp. Just keep the skin out, and all the seeds will come out. Add some water. I like to cover it, just because things can crawl in there like bugs and such. Cover it with poke holes in it, but you just let it sit for like 3 to 4 days out in the heat in the summer. And what?
Nothing. Sorry.
Oh my God. So anyway, and once you do that, there's actual like some mold that will come, which will fortify your seed for the next. It fortifies that seed against disease for the next time. And then you just take it in a strainer, rinse them out, let them dry, and preserve your seeds. It always seemed like, how do you preserve tomato seeds and not like pepper seeds because it's all wet in there? But it's very easy, and it makes a lot of sense, and then you don't have to keep buying seeds.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And then
I love our viewers. You guys are the best, and I definitely
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Ben.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
so many great comments and questions. I want to get back to them, but I didn't want to interrupt that. But I'm so clueless on that world of gardening you guys talk about and seeds. But
Now, this is something that I'm going to do very soon. And her next slide here is collect rainwater. I'm going to get one of these big, is it 500 gallon?
yes, that one's 500 gallon. You can get 800. You can get 1,000 gallons. And Raleigh, actually, the city of Raleigh, and I don't know if other places have this, but the city of Raleigh actually encourages you to collect rainwater and rewards you for doing it. And this cistern, the big cistern that we have in the backyard, is a 500 gallon cistern, and the city of Raleigh will compensate you for, I think it's up to 90%. Depending on the project, they will compensate you for basically keeping water out of the whole sewer system. Is what you're doing. You're keeping it from going in the street, and you're keeping them from having to process it. So they reward you for collecting your own rainwater, and they will compensate you. Depending on the project, we got about 40% of our investment back from the city for that cistern. Had we known that when we did the rain barrels, we probably would have gone a different route with that as well. But so we collect our own rainwater. We don't drink it. It's for the garden.
You could if you had to.
We'd have to filter it, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
tell you the one thing we've been so fortunate for years and years and years and years here in the States especially is we have such great water in general. And truth be told, something that scares the hell out of me, and one of the reasons why I am hesitant on selling my farm in upstate New York is, one, I have an amazing well for beginners, but you got to, when the D-Day, or, you know, if shit hits the fan, basically, you got to be able to defend it. So that's another one. But hopefully that doesn't happen. From a business point of view, we've seen a lot of factories like Nestle buy up a lot of land surrounding the Great Lakes. And what they're,
and Bill Gates.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's what's going to happen is
Little
water.
suspicious.
We can't live without water, right? I'm sure we can all agree on that. And what they're doing is they're getting ready to be able to start piping it throughout the country so that we can have water. And that might be a reason why they don't want people collecting rainwater or whatever. But I think
I've
just
only
do
heard
it.
of
It's
that
just-
like in Colorado.
Yeah,
when-
it's I've heard it seems much more rare to not be able to collect your
Yeah.
rainwater than it is.
Yeah, it seems ridiculous.
And I'm pretty sure where I live in a watershed. And if you want to build, one of my neighbors built a workshop, and he had to put in some rainwater collection devices in order to get the right approval for his.
Just be careful when
workshop.
you're scrolling through those comments.
Yeah, if we, yeah, I mean, so what was funny is someone mentioned, he goes, Matt, you mentioned you're playing with nipples. All of a sudden, you got these porn links coming up.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Oh,
So we're already almost coming up to 1 o'clock. I don't know where the hell this hour just went. I would love to get through all these questions and comments.
And I have a few other little tips.
I would
Yes.
love, well, and there's a lot of great questions too. People asking for
Yeah.
advice. That's kind of off topic. And I think next week we'll really get into the pickling and water glassing,
Yeah.
and I'm going to have some questions. It'll
Well,
be great.
I'm going to bring something next week for you. And it's called...
No, don't.
what?
Why don't we wait till next
no,
week?
it's called Pemmican.
Okay,
Pemmican
still have no
is
clue.
it was started, or the Native Americans here in America started doing this, and as the Europeans came, they started doing it as well. And my friend who is doing some of this canning and such gave me some, and it was surprisingly good. I'm going to bring it in for you to try.
Oh my God! Speaking of surprising,
It's a way to preserve meat into like a little bar, but it's just meat, fat. Well, maybe I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, yeah. Next week, bring that on. And also, I tell you, not this has anything to do with the show, but if people like food out there, I finally got to go out and have some dinner with some very close friends, and they made what they called corn ribs. You ever heard of these?
No.
Never heard of them in my life, and I'm looking at them going, "Oh God, yeah, this is gonna be real good, amazing." Oh my God, Google it, TikTok, or whatever. Nan's got to start making them. Nan's been very quiet lately. All right, so we got the comments up. Before I forget, because 1 o'clock is coming up, would you do me a favor?
What?
I'm dying to see what's in this box.
Do you want me to get the box?
I
for
would.
you?
Okay, yes.
Please
That'd be
hold.
great, Ingrid. So if you didn't catch last week's show, you definitely got to go back and watch it, especially towards the end. There was 2 boxes that were shipped to the company here, one for Kristen and one for Ingrid, and just the most amazing.
And I'm glad I'm glad we opened them on the show. I mean, we
Jeez,
did.
easy, Terrence. Got to pay attention what's going on around here, boy. You're just like a little kid in the kid. Okay, just all right. So go ahead. What were you gonna say? We almost had a light come crashing down and kill us. That's all, folks.
It's not going to kill you.
No, well, now that they know that, now it's not as cool what I just said.
Yeah, I'm so glad so last week I got and we don't know who these are from, but this is a puppet, and Ingrid, I got 2, a little bantam as well, and Ingrid did too.
Yes, I got a barred rock named Isabella Ciccolini, which I think is funny.
Yeah, we don't know who sent these.
Are you fighting with me right now?
Well, I'm holding my chicken.
I
I'm
know.
not fighting with you. Your
Okay.
mouse got disconnected. I don't know how that happened. I wish I was responsible, but I was not.
All right, so we're going to get back to your questions and comments. If you have any more questions and comments, please leave them down below. Here's what I want to do right now.
And the letters that came with these things, I mean, I talked to Ingrid after the show, and I said, I've never received a letter like this. And she was
Me
like,
neither.
Yeah, like that. It was really hard to hold it together, because I mean, it's just so often we don't hear nice things, and it was very touching.
Yeah, it's very,
And
very
whoever
sweet.
sent these, we really appreciate it, and we appreciate the letter very much.
Oh my gosh, the thought that went into that, and just the sincerity, and I was so proud of us as a company, this show that we've created from nothing, just like the company, trying to do things our way. and just sharing, an hour and a half. So much, and that's just for the show. So much time goes into the prep for the show usually, especially when they do their homework. Because we do this because we want you guys to benefit from what we have learned. If you're going to build your own coops, you have your own chickens, and of course, if you ever need hemp and those things, hopefully you buy it from us and or tell your friends when they come visit. So yes, just amazing what we're able to do in the lives we can touch. And it just, last week at the end of the show, it proved to me how important this show is and what you guys are doing. And I got my own box.
So let's open it up.
Are we ready to open it up?
We are.
So now there was a little bit of confusion, okay, last week. And I just want to clarify it, okay? Because we thought maybe they came from the company that made these wonderful gifts, but we have confirmed that's not the case.
Right. It was anonymous.
So we have an anonymous listener, viewer.
Because occasionally we do get samples of things from people who wanting us to promote it. So that's where my mind was. But then when Kristen was reading the letter, it was obvious. But we still love this website, this Birds Absurd, because these are amazing.
Absolutely. So I know my audio may not be as good, but I want to make room. I want you guys to see this because it is
so
amazing. Cute. Just the
detail.
The detail of this product. And again, whoever is doing this, I'm sure they're watching right now.
They have to be a regular listener because of the
oh yeah, they
like the inside jokes and and details in the letters.
I almost feel like I got Isabella Ciccolini because Isabella Rossellini's mother was Ingrid Bergman, so I just kind of feel like, and it was a Bard Rock, and I think I've mentioned that's one of my faves. So.
Oh, okay, that makes good sense. All right, so are we ready?
Yeah.
All right.
And when we were opening the box last week, we actually thought for just a moment it was a real chicken.
Well, that's why I freaked out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, Kristen, what did you do now? Look at here.
Oh my God.
Well, you got the rooster.
Got the big rooster.
Of course.
Aren't these amazing?
They are.
I cannot believe. So again, if I would love to contact the company that makes these because I just think they're one
That's
of a kind.
going in your office.
They're absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
This is just absolutely gorgeous, and it makes sense that I get a rooster.
Of course.
I love
Does it have a name tag on it?
Yes, we're gonna get there.
Sir Albert of Chixley.
They're all named.
Whoever this person is awesome. I would love to know, but I love that
think
it's a
I have an
mystery.
idea.
So I want to, if you guys don't mind, am I allowed to read the letter?
Yes, of course you are.
I am kind of emotionally, what is it called?
Raw.
I got a lot going on, so I just want to be able to hold this together. But I tell you, so right off it says, Matt, I got a letter, love it. Matt Dubois, president of Carolina Coops, which is true. Because I don't like to call myself the owner, the CEO, anything like that. But on record, I'm the president. Inventor and builder of the best chicken coop on the planet Earth. Wow. That is awesome. All right. So real quick, folks, I promise we'll get back to your questions and comments. But I would just like to kind of read this. I hope it's not going to get too emotional. I don't want to. Oh, gosh, black and white. I have the hardest time. If anybody else out there has visual snow and you have a hard time reading, this is the secret. Oh, you can't see it. That's the secret right there. Dear Matt, this thank you gift is a token of my appreciation for all you do. I had wanted chickens for the longest time, and it was during my research online that I found Carolina Coops. I was never raised with chickens, knew nothing about them, and I just couldn't stop dreaming. Perhaps someday. Okay, look at it. Oh, got goosebumps. I am happily married to a wonderful man who, unfortunately for me, wasn't as enthusiastic about chickens as I was. In my first attempt to convince him he could do this, we went to a chicken lecture where we could ask all kinds of chicken questions. Our biggest takeaway from the class was everything eats chicken. Sadly, that didn't help further my case for chickens. When I found your YouTube videos and saw the deep litter method, coupled with all you put into your coop, I knew this is how I wanted to do chickens. I think I have watched every video you've ever put out, and whenever the day came, this was going to be my coop. Fast forward to spring of 2020 and COVID. On a fine April day, my husband said to me, if you still want chickens, why don't you go for it? I couldn't believe my ears. Really? Seriously? Yahoo. It was worth the wait to have him on board. First call, Carolina Coops. Interesting. It's like we're getting some clues here. Matt, it is your imagination, love of woodworking, and love of chickens that has affected my life in wonderful ways. I'm not going to be able to do it.
You may finish?
I love helping people, I tell you. And, yeah, no, I got this. I'm tough. Whoo.
You don't got that.
You don't have to use the blue screen.
Oh, that's right. You, your wife, Nan, and the entire staff at Carolina Coops have directly and significantly contributed to adding tremendous joy to my life. And not just me, you have done it countless times for all your other customers as well. Matt, because you are so giving, I thought it was time you get a taste of the Golden Bell. Matt Dubois, in token of your generosity, kindness, love for your customers, and the incredible business you've birthed, ding, 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 I would like to present you with Sir Albert of Chixley. I hope you enjoy him. He is sent with much love from one of your many, many satisfied customers and an avid video chicken viewer. May God bless you and your family with many happy and healthy years doing what you love and are so good at doing. Yours truly, Mrs. Happily Anonymous. P.S. And they lived happily ever after with chickens. Now that we have them, hubby loves the girls, and needless to say, I love him even more. The reluctant spouse came around.
Yeah, and we hear that a lot. I tell you,
Yeah.
if you're trying to get chickens and you're trying to convince your partner, we have helped so many people get chickens. And I'll never forget one time. The worst was when we went and did a site survey. The husband wouldn't even look at me, wouldn't even shake my hand. Long story short, did the coop, went back, and he was in love with his chickens. It happens a lot. So, whoever you are, you just thank you. This is why I love what we do. And I'm so grateful to be part of something that allows us to do what we love and touch so many lives. And, this doesn't happen very often, if at all. And I just can't thank you enough. And it's just so special, so meaningful.
Ingrid, can you read your letter?
Well, we have a lot of questions. I don't know if you want to get to the questions, but it was very nice. It was a beautiful letter about, just like with Kristen, it's just about our contribution and what we do and how we try to be there for everybody that has questions. And Matt's so emotional.
Well, it's hard for me because it's relief. What we go through that people maybe one day will see. And only a family-owned business, the people that own it, can understand what I'm saying. It's just you wouldn't believe the hell that goes on with you and your family. And I don't...
There's a lot of sacrifice.
There is. And also, I'm so thankful. I'm so fortunate to have the parents I did. And I think of them. My father who it's just... Thank you.
Aww.
Anyways, all right, let's get to questions and comments.
Yeah,
Darn
let me read the questions because I don't want you to go through them because I don't want you to put anything.
No,
else
I'm
in here.
good.
I did see a
Okay.
couple.
There's
as well
so
that I'd
many
like
great
to
questions and
mention.
comments. I want to make sure. I'm going to start looking up the person I asked to be here.
So here's a question from Kathy. When my broody hens hatch eggs, when my broody hens eggs hatch, do I need to separate them from the rest of the flock?
Oh, thank God, a question for you.
Well, the beauty of having a broody hen is having those chicks be accepted into the flock. And if she is completely separated, that won't happen.
Okay,
So we need to figure out some way that she is, sometimes it's nice to separate her at least initially until the bonding is definitely achieved between the eggs, the broody hen and the chicks. But at some point she should be brought back into the flock with the chicks to make sure that those chicks are respected.
Yeah, I used my dog crate in my coop because she got out with the little chicks and one of the other chicks picked up one of the little chicks by its leg, and I think she was just too tired to try to defend her chicken. little
No.
baby because it was the first day. So I just to feel safe, I wanted to make sure, and plus they could easily get out of the area I had, and I didn't want the little chick popping out and then not being able to get back in. So I kept them in like a little dog crate, and then I would let them out in the coop area.
Yeah, and you don't
for just for a couple of days, just while they kind of became part of the flock.
Yeah, and you don't want her trying to go back to the nest either. That's kind of rare, but sometimes they do after the chicks hatch.
Right. Okay, let's see. Matt's still looking for that comment.
Yeah, and
people don't want you to change the ladder. There's a lot of comments about that.
Hey, thank you. I mean, you know what? This is why I go to my team. It's funny how sometimes other business owners tell me I listen to my team too much. That could be distracting, this and that. And I get it. But it does prove to me how great my team is and how much they care, how much they've learned. And they're right.
Yeah, and if people call us to order their coop, they're going to ask. We go through some of the options if they want, and they'll say, well, which one would you prefer? And we're always going to say the ladder.
Right.
So-
So sorry.
No, so Sparky Prep says, I already ordered my coop, supposed to get built in June. I wanted the ladder. Now he changes it. But he will get his ladder.
That's right.
So no worries.
Yeah, so we have not made the official change up in New York, so all the coops going out of there. That's still the ladder. What we're going to do is we're going to add the ramp as a option to swap out. It doesn't need to cost more, even though it's more expensive, to be honest with you. I don't want to get into splitting hairs. But if you have chickens that you think have a bum leg, or if you have silkies, you got to get this ladder.
I think the silkies would do better on the ladder.
That we need to put to the test. I don't
Sides
have
to
We,
it.
we really do. We really do. I can't wait. Hopefully any day now we'll have the C of O at this
Okay.
building, and we'll have our coop out there, and we'll be able to put all kinds of things to the test. All
Now,
right.
I did see Lindsay Zoo say something about she swapped out her carabiners for padlocks.
Yeah, because she said that people were stealing chickens.
Or she had that concern, and that came up on our site visit yesterday as well.
No, that was the salmon coop site visit,
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. No, sorry, you're right.
the one I was at.
Mm-hmm. I knew it was recent.
Yeah.
So I do want to share. We did do that site survey, doing a follow-up on a lady that bought a house that came with one of our custom Carolina coops.
Yep.
And she wanted us to come out and make sure it's going to be safe for her chickens. And she never even thought about getting chickens until she bought this house and it came with a coop. And there's going to be a phenomenal video coming out soon, isn't it, Ingrid?
So this coop,
Soon is relative, right?
yeah, this coop is 9 years old, and it looked dusty, barely dusty, but brand new.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So
the reclaimed barn was.
I couldn't be happier.
Yeah. Oh
it
my-
was so nice to go back and see how wonderful this chicken coop was. And we got into great detail. And I was criticizing on some things. I wanted to point out why we've changed some things. But I tell you, when it comes to the quality, I was blown away.
Well,
Yeah.
that was a mortise and tenon coop.
Yeah.
I mean,
So we're going to have an awesome video coming out. And she asked, do I need to lock up this coop so people don't steal chickens?
Because it's right along a walking path.
And we actually had that happen at a commercial coop. Well, a Carolina coop at a commercial property was open to the public.
right.
So that can happen. All right, okay, I'm calmed down now. Sorry about that, folks. It's just.
We're just keeping it real here.
Yes, thank you, which is what I do. So Ingrid is flying through the comments now. It is time
Because
to
I'm
get
trying to
through
get
them.
to
You
the more
cracked me
recent-
up. Don't change the ladder.
And Laura says, what is Ingrid's website?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm so bad at updating my website.
Plumber always has a leaky toilet.
Yeah, because I'm trying to get Carolina Coops updated, but we do have a small website called ralsteadfarm.com.
You want to spell that?
It's RALSTEAD. Ralstead came out of Raleigh Homestead. That's where they got
Oh.
that name from.
Oh, that's great. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that.
Yeah, that wasn't like a family name. People actually thought that was our last names for a while. But yeah, that's but I haven't done a YouTube. I just, that's the kind of thing, because I do so much for Carolina Coops. I don't do stuff for my own website.
All right, so real quick, I want to get through all these questions and comments that have came up. So we're gonna do kind of a rapid fire. Is that okay with everyone?
Sure.
So this is interesting. Watch who you tell about preps. Under law, the government had said they can come and take anything longer than a 72-hour supply. It's considered hoarding. I've never heard of that. That is scary. I've never heard of that.
Well, we don't. This is not confirmed. This is.
Oh yeah. No, this is just sharing comments.
That would be in order for a law to pass, you have to have, 3 branches of government approve it, and I don't know if that was really a law. Seems like we would have heard about it.
So Sparky Prep.
I haven't seen anything on social media about it, so it can't be true.
Thanks, Nan.
I mean, it could be a local law, or I don't know.
Yeah.
So
there's so many comments.
Or an
that you
upcoming
have
law.
that's like further down.
okay, we'll get there. All right. So Sparky Prep, you've already ordered your coop. We'll make sure you get the ladder. There's going to be a handful of customers that I just said go ahead and change it because I figured they'll appreciate it. And I was wrong. And that's fine. I love when my team is right and I'm wrong because that's technically what I'm paying you guys to be, right? Do I have money to move my beehive?
Do I have to move my beehive when my chickens start to free range? No.
That's a good question.
Because in the tour to Coop, they always had bees and chickens together.
They should be fine.
Yeah, it's a lot of people have that, and it should be fine.
Morgan Anderson, I'm wanting to get started with chickens for the first time. I've watched nearly all of your videos, and unfortunately, I purchased a Chinese chicken coffin before I discovered Carolina coops.
Well, there's still time.
Morgan, that's called a starter coop.
Yes, but be careful. I mean, there's nothing worse. You take the time, raise these baby chicks up, and this and that. And the problem with the Chinese coffin, other than no ventilation, you're going to stress them out because how small it is. My biggest fear is a predator can blow right through it.
Oh yeah, and people might get out of the hobby because of the chicken coop. That's the other concern.
Right.
God, people love the ladder. You guys were right. I'll never forget when we first made the ladder. It was like the American Coop. I was embarrassed of it. I was like, this doesn't look very good, but it made technical sense.
Oh, I loved it the first time I saw it.
Yeah, just aesthetically, it's beautiful. Like your coops.
I have the 6x12 American Coop, and it's so beautiful. Our chickens are so spoiled. We also have the CoopWorks feeder and water. I have 9 chicks, and they all are ranging in ages and sizes. When do you suggest to start taking the older ones in the hen house during the day? I live in Los Angeles, so it's warming up here. I wouldn't leave them out there at night yet since it's still in the low to mid 60s at night.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. I don't mean
But
to
she
laugh.
did start out saying our chickens are so spoiled.
They are. They are spoiled. They're fine in 60 degree
Yeah, 60s
temperature.
is fine, even if they're young.
And I said this on a video recently. I don't remember where we were. I find it so fascinating, people that live in warm climates.
Us Southerners.
Oh, gosh.
Or the people
We're
out
just a
west.
little sensitive.
Chickens are probably, geez, you're not kidding. 60s, they're probably loving the 60-degree weather.
that's perfect.
60s is not cold, but I can understand when you grow up in the South, or especially Southern California, it's beautiful. 60s is nothing. They would absolutely love that. All right, so moving on. Wow. Whew, that was all right. So you're right. It's the worst. Construction is poor, and I've been making lots of modifications to make it better.
That was the Chinese coffee.
Matt,
board.
listen to your chicken expert about the ladder.
Oh, that's me. I have another couple comments.
Please.
Quail is a good option when we're thinking about what's the best way to grow eggs and meat in a quick, rapid manner, because our Quartnix quail can reproduce. They're full size and laying eggs and reproducing at 5 weeks. So you have a very rapid life cycle. It's kind of like the rabbit. So if you're looking at a quick, easy, sustainable way to produce meat, of course, our chickens produce eggs, and that's great protein. But if you want meat, the quail and the Quartnix quail is very easy to raise, and they have very small space requirements. So that is a good option. And also, I wanted to mention duckweed. Duckweed is 40% protein.
Oh, I'm picturing a duck.
It
in like a
doubles
tie-dye shirt.
almost every day.
Hippie.
It's like floating clover. So you can grow it on in 5-gallon buckets, and it's like floating clover, and it's 40% protein. It's good to have a supplemental way to feed your flock, and it is also good for humans as well.
Lisa Haymaker is wondering, what's the best advice when chicks hatch? Keep them secured in the hen house, move them to the area under the hen house, and secure that area for mama and babies.
I would put them under the hen house.
Yeah, I did that. I did a little like X-pen fence there for them.
Yeah, and I've got 4 broodies at Anya's house, and I've got 4 at my house as well. So it is the time to talk broodies.
Interesting. Just clip
that
on.
is really interesting considering I don't have any chickens. Dale.
Someone made a suggestion that's interesting.
What?
Just clip on ramp that attaches to the other side of the ladder. Okay, what's the silence for?
I
Oh,
mean,
because we haven't told Ingrid, have we? She doesn't catch. She maybe didn't understand why that was interesting.
oh, is that what somebody suggested?
Yeah, yesterday that was the suggestion.
Okay, well, we weren't supposed to go that far.
Why? Yeah.
Is it okay to feed worms?
To make it reversible.
Is it okay to feed worms and grubs found in the yard to our guineas and chickens?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's encouraged.
Do.
Yes.
Why not offer either? So yeah, I didn't realize how much people love that ladder. So a lot of great comments. So many.
Also, I will mention that I'm going to Southern States, the local farm store here in Creedmoor, after work, and I'm going to go buy buckwheat and millet.
So we're at 94 viewers right now. If you guys haven't already shared
I'm going
this
to grow
show,
my own grain.
please do so. Can't thank you for everyone being here.
And
We're going to keep
that
getting
might
through
be good for me and the chickens.
the questions and comments. God, there's so many. A handicap coop. That's called a silky coop.
What are you laughing at?
Egg glassing is a new bar drink Mackenzie made. Oh, that's funny. A lot of ads too. I love how our viewers are talking to one another. Turn up her volume, please. I was talking about Mackenzie. She started here. Sound is breaking. Can you add eggs to jar over time or all at once? Oh, that's
I
interesting.
think you're supposed to keep it as full as possible because you don't want to keep opening it and closing it. That would be my guess. I don't know for sure, but I would think you would. But you can take them out one at a time.
Will chickens eat stink bugs?
I don't think so.
Does glassing change the taste?
Not if you wash the eggs, the lime off of them.
All right, so I can't wait till next week. If you're just joining us, we were talking about how to preserve eggs for over a year, putting them in water. And next week, Kristen and Mackenzie are going to do it. They're going to show you guys here live actually how to do it. All right, so moving on. I'm getting there. Ingrid's like, come on. Can you add a few eggs at a... Okay, so da-da-da.
You realize this is also a podcast and nobody knows what you're doing.
Yeah, I know.
She's scrolling through
That's
comments.
the beauty of editing, isn't it?
No, I don't edit this.
Oh, you don't?
No.
You don't cut out the...
No, we don't really need her to.
I don't have time for that. I have a lot of things. The one thing people don't realize that I don't just work on this show for this.
Oh, I'm sure they
company.
realize that.
Do they
Yeah.
know that? Do they know that I do other things?
Maybe we should have
Yeah,
a
why
day...
don't you list off some of the things you do,
We
Ingrid?
should have a day of Ingrid.
No. Well, that's fine.
Ingrid, what else do you do?
I do the website. I do all the marketing. I overlook social media. I get respond to your YouTube comments, which is a full-time job in itself.
All right, so
and editing videos.
Sparky
editing
Prep brings up something that I did want to mention because, and I don't know if I've heard from the gentleman, we've had a customer buy our nipples, and he's not happy with them because they're leaking. But technically speaking, from the video that I saw, his nipples are not leaking because of the nipple. It looks like they're leaking from the application of the nipple in the PVC. So, for example, Sparky Prep, when making a water bar of PVC pipe, do I need to pre-tap the holes in the PVC before I screw in the nipples? Do you need to? No, but let me be clear on something. Because this manufacturer says, no, you don't need to. You just drill the hole, screw it in. I learned real quick. It's a pain in the butt to do that, and they're going to end up leaking. So we tap it. That's what we do. So I would say if you got the right tap, do it. You'll be much happier. And I have a feeling the other gentleman that's having problems didn't do that, and that's why they're leaking. Also, for whatever reason, if your nipples ever are leaking, and what I mean is they're leaking from the trigger mechanism, which is like a one-way valve, all you got to do, we need to do a video on this, I think. There's a little tiny O-ring back here that seals it so it doesn't leak. He sent me some pictures, and they were half off. And I can't tell you how difficult it is to replace that O-ring, so I don't know how in the world that happened. But I just wanted to make mention about that. All right, so moving on.
No, we got to move quickly through. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Well, I try to look for the question marks.
I know. Well, not everything is.
I know, and I think it's just great. I want you guys to see, and you helped to break 100. Thank you. I'm beginning to like the Sparky guy. That is a legitimate question. Is it still a conspiracy theory if it turns out to be true? I would like to know myself.
So Fish and Matt Ryan rescued a duckling last week.
Really?
Yeah, so that's why he was thanking me for the advice on the duckling. Somebody had told him at a job site that there was this duckling and it was a baby and there was no mom around and nobody that they could find. So he emailed me in a panic because I'm like not in California, so I don't know how much help I was to him. But he ended up getting animal control, and they work with foster people that can take the duckling. So the duckling was saved because of Matt. So thank you, Matt, for saving the duckling.
Barbara Vance asked, Matt, how can we incorporate rabbits to one of your coops? I know you said you've done it. Just give us a call. We just build you a rabbit coop.
Is that incorporating rabbits instead of chickens or with the chickens?
I think she's saying with the chickens now.
No, she's saying that's not what the question is. You guys want to pick on me for being technical?
It's just a different question.
How do you incorporate rabbits to one of your coops? Question mark. And the question.
We do have a rabbit insert. It's like a two-story insert that goes into the hen house for rabbits. But I'm hearing from customers, and they're putting a rabbit hutch on the other end of the run.
Great idea. Matt, how do you keep the... Oh, it wasn't Matt anymore. Sorry, this is for anyone now. But how do you keep the chickens out of the garden? Can we get... What did you call that sprinkler?
I know it used to be called the Scarecrow, but now it's just a automatic sprinkler motion sensor. Motion sensor automatic sprinkler, and it's a jet, and it works fantastic to keep any animals off of your, let's say, your patio or your deck where your chickens might want to, or maybe even special plants that you don't want your chickens to eat. It's just a real low-tech way to keep your chickens away. They learn pretty quickly, and they even forget that you've taken it away or turned it off. You might have to do it again after a little while, but it's very effective. I need to put mine back up again.
Yes. Can we add it to our website? Amazon fulfillment?
Sure.
I think that
if not everything is
affiliate.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
not
there.
Everything is.
It's there.
Oh, it's there, but it doesn't mean that it's available for.
Robert asked, Matt, what is the best method for tick repelling prevention in my yard? I was looking into Cedar Oil Spray, but I remember you saying chickens are sensitive. Is there something that won't hurt my hens? Thank you, Ingrid.
You're welcome.
I don't ever remember saying chickens are sensitive because, if anything, I would always make the argument that they're pretty tough creatures. They have sensitivity to heat. They have sensitivity to...
I think he was saying because the cedar oil spray, that they're sensitive to cedar.
Oh, boy.
So which they are. But in a different...
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
What you got going on there?
I'm getting fat, okay?
Oh, is that it?
And it pinches. It hurts. I have trouble breathing. I need to... Okay. Apparently, I need to go back out on a custom coop for 2 months and live off of Hungry Man's. I think I lost 30 pounds. It was amazing. Ingrid, can we note...
Non's a great cook.
Can we note that... No. Well, yes, she is. All of a sudden, I'm noticing the lack of bread around here, and I'm not happy about it. I had to have Italian sausage the other night, or day, for lunch. I'm like, well, where's the roll? I can't eat this without a roll.
Do you want to lose weight or do you want bread?
Jeez, I want bread. I want bread. I can't live without bread. All right, so we're...
I'm the same way.
That would be a great thing to talk about because that does confuse people a little bit when it comes to cedar. If you're going to use the wood for the construction of your coop versus using cedar shavings for the bedding inside your hen house.
And this is cedar oil spray, which they're using as a tick and flea repellent.
Yeah, which, God, I tell you, ticks. Well, here's what I tell you about ticks. Ugh. There's a reason why they are tough creatures. They are extremely tough creatures. If you got a lot of ticks, I mean, everyone in the chicken world is always like, go for the guineas if you can.
Yeah.
They love to go out there and eat the ticks.
They're so loud. I try.
Do ticks like, are there certain things like tall brush or something that would be more prone to house ticks? So like if you have like grasses or that monkey grass that they love here.
Someone told me something like ticks in the South. Was it you? are on tall grass and ticks in the north fall out of trees or something.
No, that sounds like Sean. Okay, here's the
Yeah,
deal.
what is that funny?
Here,
I fell for it.
no, that sounds like something. No, that's so not true. Ticks know how to hang out along trails.
To attach to animals, right?
Yeah,
They like
exactly.
to be like about a foot or 18 inches off the ground to attach to like foxes and dogs and things like that.
They know
Oh.
how to hang out on natural trails that foxes, coyotes, deer make. Yep. Tall grasses are not good. They just know. And then their feet, if you ever look at their feet, their legs underneath a microscope, that's like a fish hook. And you go by, boom, off they go.
The worst.
And then they start out with 6 legs. It's called a sea tick. And they're not an adult until they have all 8 legs. Anyways.
Gross.
Oh, Ingrid's touching that mouse.
I haven't had a tick in my. I haven't had a tick since 2014. So my chickens might be helping. And I'm in the woods a lot.
So there's people that were saying that they started their garden. Like one woman said she started a garden and had chickens, and now she can't even imagine going back to not having a garden and chickens, which is great.
I mean, when it comes to hobbies, I mean, it is really, really rewarding to grow and to eat and to enjoy that and to share. I mean, that's part of the joy as well, is sharing what you're growing.
The other thing, oh, I'm sorry, Matt.
No,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
The
People
other
hear me
thing I
enough.
have to say about what we've done with our garden and how we've transformed the property is that because of the biodiversity on our property, the different things that we grow, perennials and herbs, and we have a little pond, we have brought so much life to the yard. There's toads, there's tree frogs, there's dragonflies, there's rabbits, there's all sorts of butterfly moths, monarchs, swallowtails, all sorts of pollinators. And I can go out into my yard, whether it's day or night, and just be mesmerized by all the life that's out there, which you're not going to have with this. I know people love their lawns, and I'm not saying you can't have a lawn, but you don't have that biodiversity, and you don't have that life in your front yard or backyard or wherever it is. And I always say, just build it and they will come, because they do.
I was also going to say to another comment from Robert about the ticks that he says are really bad and I have way too many predators to let them out without supervision. Any pests, you got to figure out why they're there. It's all about prevention. Well, it starts with identification, which is pretty easy to identify that it's a type of tick, and there's many different species of ticks. However, you need to find out, if you have that many, you got to find out why they're there. And that might help you with some other problems, especially if there's a lot of predators. If you're seeing a lot of predators you shouldn't see during the daytime, especially mammals, they might be contributing to your tick population.
Yeah.
Some states say it's illegal to collect rainwater. If you know for a fact out there a state that says it's illegal to collect rainwater, I'd love to give a representative a call and ask them why it's illegal.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an entire statewide thing. I think it might be more. for
Roadstar Slim
municipality.
says
So
it.
it's definitely in Colorado because they want to prevent people from getting the water, because they have it needs to go to the Colorado River.
So it's like when you're planning and you can only have so much concrete. You got to have so much impermeable land.
Yes, I have a
Really?
where I live. You can only have impermeable at 7% of your property.
I thought it was not safe to water veggies with a rain barrel water.
Well, if you're out in a field and they're getting rained on,
Get close. Yeah, we want.
if they're getting if your food is getting rained on, that's pretty much. I'm not saying you don't wash your food after you eat, before you eat it. And somebody also asked in the comments about if I wash my produce. I don't wash it until I'm ready to use it, because if you wash, say, lettuce or certainly blueberries, you don't want to wash because of the bloom. The same thing for the eggs. It degrades the blueberry if you wash it first and store it. The same thing with like lettuce. It's going to get all wilty and kind of gross unless you can wash it and completely dry it and then store it. But I just store it in my fridge and then wash it as I eat it.
So Laura's asking, what are your thoughts on fermenting chicken feed for better quality to chickens to save money? So we talked about this quite a bit in last week's show, right?
Yeah.
So Laura, just so we can move on, I hate to say this, but go to last week's show. Ingrid had a lot to say about fermenting, and I would love to do a show really focusing on that, where maybe we bring in some nutritional experts, maybe we bring in Dr. Crespo, whatever. But I love the idea of fermenting, but there's a little bit more to it in order to do it properly. and it may or may not be a good thing for chickens. But I tell you, when we're talking about prepping, I know I fermented a lot of our pig feed, and that saved us a lot of money.
Yeah, there is some concern about if supply chain gets disrupted. How are we going to feed our chickens if we don't have 50-pound bags of chicken feed?
Okay, that's a good point. Okay, so
which is why I was going to go buy some buckwheat and millet.
Not to freak everyone out, our supply chain's about to get interrupted like we have never seen before.
Fish meal is also good. I don't know if you can buy that in bulk.
Think about this: diesel shortage, trains, trucks, ships. That's insane, and they're calling for it.
So, I'm sorry. I just want to. Colorado's the only state. I'm not saying there's other municipalities that might not in different states, but as far as a state, Colorado's the only state that it's completely illegal to harvest rainwater. Other than that, each house is allowed up to 110 gallons of rain barrel storage.
That is so interesting. Boo Boo Bang Bang. Love the name. I just had to say that. At Carolina Coops, bring the cameras and let's film the first episode of Save My Coop, Save My Marriage.
We had a lot of good...
Oh, that's not where I thought he was going with it, but I love that.
We had a lot of good... I forget all of the creative names.
Cluck it or chuck it.
Yes.
Cluck it or chuck it.
So
chuck it or cluck it.
We were hoping yesterday... Was it yesterday?
Those were great last time.
We were hoping yesterday we were going to add that to our list of filming, and we didn't get to it for other reasons, but we're going to go back out there, and we're actually going to be doing... chuck it or coop it, save my coop it, this and that, but save my...
These, I mean, they're on the screen and there's like bad language.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, folks. Matt needs mods. I don't know what that means. Did spam sponsor the... what's that?
So people are reporting the spam.
Okay, so
the
truth be
porn.
told, okay. One of my favorite chickens I ever had was a rooster. And I actually love roosters. I am just not a fan of if you're going to raise backyard chickens to have a rooster with your flock. So to Lindsay, ironic because Matt always says to not have a rooster, the hens don't need them. But I absolutely love roosters because they're absolutely beautiful. They will risk their life, sacrifice their life for their women. And if it wasn't for the roosters, we won't be able to reproduce.
Yes.
So I just want to be clear there.
One of my spring chicks is a rooster. I could identify him at about 5 weeks that he was a rooster, but I'm keeping him until he grows, just in case.
Do you remember?
Just in case I need to propagate my own chickens.
You can't do that.
But once he crows, he's gonna be a nuisance, and I'll get rid of him. But just in case.
Matt is as tough as a toasted marshmallow, hard outside, still soft on the inside. Boy, is that true? I guess, right?
He's a softie.
Tough. I am. I don't like it. I hate it. But I am who I am, so I'm proud of that part either way. But yeah, that I knew I was gonna be able to hold it together. I am so emotionally. What is the term? I'm trying to think of just no. I'm
emotionally raw.
Are you emotionally available?
No. What the fuck? What does that mean? What?
I think, or is that what's the term when you're
I
like
am so stressed, tired with everything going on
in the dating world? That's like
I don't know.
To have on that. I think that's what it's called when you're like.
Oh damn it! Now my eyes are sweating.
Now, not only was it such a beautiful gift, and it is a beautiful gift, and it was a very generous gift. The sentiment and what was written to each of our individual letters was, I think, what blew us away so much.
Yes.
Yeah, just the details and the observations.
Yeah, and it really made us all feel very appreciated, and in a way that we know you guys all love us, and we do appreciate that, and we love all the good comments, and we're not suggesting that people constantly send us muffin baskets. But if they want to, that's fine.
And I tell you, I appreciate the comments. I realize we're getting through the comments during that little section. That helps because I don't want to seem like a softie in front of everyone.
And the website is This Bird's Absurd. If somebody was, I think Kevin was asking where she sells.
So
them.
here's what I want to do. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay, and I would love to do it next week.
I will try.
No. We don't. We do or we do not. There is no trying.
All right, Yoda.
That is a rule around here.
Okay.
I want to call This Bird's Absurd.
Okay.
And I would love to talk to this person that makes these. I'd love to learn more about it. I love them. They are just gorgeous. So much work must go into them because you can tell once you see them, the quality is amazing, and he or she must know their chickens. She,
yeah.
And she's got something going here. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Just absolutely beautiful.
I showed this to somebody in a photo, and they said, "Is that feathers on there?" And I was like, "No," but she made like a stuffed animal that actually looks like feathers, and the detail, and they're just wonderful. I'm holding mine right now. I know nobody can see, but it's very comforting.
So Laura just brought up a good point. I know we're going way past our show, but people are still paying us some attention. All 88 people out there, and we did break 100, so I can't thank you guys enough. So I do want to get through these. And again, thank you so much for the support there. I didn't mean to kind of fall apart, but anyways, Laura has a reluctant husband, but all that's going on has convinced him. Now it's on to building a coop. Would love a Carolina coop, but shipping to Oregon is money that could be used for more chickens or items. That is true.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about shipping. I was just shocked to see that I think it was like $700 to ship a coop from here to another part of North Carolina.
Yeah.
Fayetteville.
With the price of diesel, it's insane right now. With the price of diesel, it is affecting so many things, including just shipping a coop out.
So we're going to need to do the truckload. We're going to have to do co-ops with people combining their orders for shipping.
That's right.
And
we're going to have to be creative.
Yeah, and if you live in Fayetteville, I would think, wouldn't it be easier just to rent a box truck or you?
Well, for that price, yes, but it used to be like $200.
Right. So time is money. You got to value your time.
Yeah.
So this is why, and Kristen, I love what you said, and so I know everyone agrees here. We understand. We don't just we're just going to keep charging more. No, we're going to get creative. We're going to get smart, and it's going to make us better.
Yeah.
That's what makes this company so awesome.
So, Laura, we do have other people in Oregon that want a coop, and they're in the same boat. So.
And full knockdown. Now I'm wondering, are people willing to put in some more work of assembling?
With the price of diesel, I mean, I like that idea, but I don't think it's going to bring shipping down.
Yeah, probably.
Combining orders will, because I saw
absolutely.
You could almost ship 2 coops for the same price if it goes to the same terminal. Wow. It was shocking. You can add a whole nother pallet and it only goes up a small amount.
It says here, Kristen and
Thank
Carolina
you, Julian.
helped me convincing my wife, Christy, that chickens are awesome. Now she's in love with our 10 hens.
And your coop is coming up.
Yeah, that is awesome. I love that. I love when there's surprises. People had no idea. All right, we're getting towards the end. We're going to try to fly through here. Just before I forget, next week, Mackenzie's going to be here. You guys are going to do live setting up glassing for eggs. I'm going to have some questions. And you're going to have some answers, right?
Yep.
Do you guys have build your own kits?
Build your own kits.
Do we? I'm not understanding
Most
the question.
of our coops are sent out for you to build by yourself or hire somebody locally to do so, and they are partially built.
Right. So when Matt talks about knockdown, that means disassembling the walls. When we ship them out, the walls are already built. The screen's not attached, but the walls are built. So
it just goes together quicker, but
yeah,
it's still a project because it's a coop that's going to last a lifetime. So
well, chickens eat rye and millet and still lay. Why wouldn't they? I'm lost on that one. That's an interesting question.
Maybe if it's only rye and millet. I don't know. I mean,
oh, you know what? When you're doing your own feed, growing your own grain for feed, you always have to use a little vitamin and mineral packet. So those would be nice to have right now as well. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to.
So we didn't get to talk about the food shortage for chickens that much.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it next week too. I'll have some more.
You better.
Show and tell.
That is interesting, and I liked what I did at my farm in New York. I know it's not for everyone, but again, you're gonna safety in numbers. Start combining with your neighbors. Start buying pallets of feed from your local grain mills, and you'll actually find out.
I was told that the feed only stores 3 months.
Well, one of the things that you said, like a brewery, when they have spent grains, taking stuff like that from local breweries, like local microbreweries or things like that, that's a good idea.
I think grain would store better than the feed, because the feed is processed into pellets. That's just my thought.
Yeah.
So Lisa, that is a very interesting point. Her tick population decreased when they started cutting their grass really, really short. It's really that simple. Get it as short as possible. Make it so the ticks don't want to be there. So it's either just ample food supply and or a great place to hang out.
Should we take the comments off for now?
Oh, okay. Are we done? Are we ready to go?
I'm not saying that we're done. I would like to.
Oh, because of whoever. Okay, here we go.
Well,
What? Okay.
Okay. No, go ahead.
Nope.
Okay, what's going on?
I don't know.
What's going on?
I can tell by that Ingrid's got a great idea and whatnot. There's just so many great comments. I can't thank you guys enough. I wish we could get to every single one, but if I do, I'm probably gonna get yelled at.
If you guys want to have want to see a specific show or you want more information
what's that
about
saying? Hold on.
anything, please contact us.
Moderates can block spammers as soon as they pop up. That's what I was talking. Okay.
Yeah. So when they said Matt needs mods, they mean moderators. We
That's
just don't
a good
have,
idea.
we just don't have people.
No, we need to make Mike Trapp our moderator.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to anoint somebody. Mm-hmm. If you want to apply for the moderator job, it pays nothing. But you get our gratitude.
Maybe you could test out some products for us.
Yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we would need somebody to catch those things because I just can't do it all.
If you want a concrete border, do you guys give us the specs to build it first? Absolutely, to great detail. We draw it all up and give you or your contractor specs, including the sill plate. We even have a pretty decent conversation to talk about your concrete border. How thick should it be, how tall, what PSI, fiberglass, rebar, how far down, above the frost line, below the frost line. All kinds of great
There's
things.
so many things to think about.
How would I winter over duckweed? See, people are catching on. If they put it all in caps, it catches my attention. How would I winter over duckweed?
Is that what I have to do?
Yeah, we have shiny keys over here.
Oh, you taking offense to that?
Is that what I have to do?
How do you? I don't know how you would winter over duckweed.
You could just put it in a 5-gallon bucket in your house.
Oh, there you go.
It really doubles almost every day.
Wow.
Money is
No,
super
chickens love
tight.
it.
Can we just order a coop without the run? Absolutely. Yeah, we sell not a lot of them, but we have what's called our penthouse.
And we have runs without the coop.
Yeah.
And we have coops with runs.
And Amanda is also volunteering.
We also have financing and like a layaway.
We have a layaway?
We have yeah, I guess we do have. We used to do layaway actually all the time.
And layaway is just simply you're making payments until you get it paid, and then we ship it.
The financing has been popular. I know no one likes interest rates, but it's depending on your. I know you guys had a meeting yesterday. How did it go?
It was good.
Yeah, with the finance company. Alrighty, awesome. We got through that. Wow, 146. This is probably almost going to be the longest show ever. I appreciate you guys being here. It is Friday the 13th. It was kind of a fun show. We covered a lot. Had some laughs, had some tears, had some angry moments. Got to talk about conspiracy theories and things like that. Absolutely love it. Yeah.
Had some shop drama.
So I'm looking forward to next week's show. So make sure you guys are here. We're gonna have Mackenzie down. I'm gonna put her right in front of the camera, sitting next to Kristen here, and you guys are gonna.
Or you.
No.
If I'm not here.
You're not gonna do. No.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, there's no ghosting. That's not allowed.
Oh.
Don't even think about it. Kristen and Mackenzie are gonna show you guys live. Actually, I'm sorry.
And you.
And me what?
All three of us have to be here. All four of us.
Well, no, I'll be here.
Yes.
Ingrid and I will be over there. Just make sure.
Musical chairs.
No. I can't wait to see you guys actually glass eggs. Water glass eggs.
So we'll figure it out.
Yes, you better. I guess until next week, and I don't know if we're going to be talking about anything else, but I know we got a lot going on, and I guess we settled the story, too, about that ramp and ladder. I'm glad I got that off my chest.
Won.
Oh, that's how you got to put it. All right, it's time to roll. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We will see you next week. Thank you.
Love your chickens and each other.
Was that it? Was that the one?
Take care of your chickens and each other.
That's her. Hold on. Don't end. That's her. That was it. Don't go. That was it. That's the person.
Shabby Paints?
Yes. Hold on. Sorry. Pause. This is like a So Shabby Paints says, love your chickens and each other. That needs to be our sign out every single week. I absolutely love it. Real simple. Love your chickens and each other.
Okay, Shabby Paints, just email Ingrid at carolinacoops.com and give me your shirt size with your address.
Oh, right at the last minute. Thank you, Shabby Paints.
All right.
Love your chickens and each other. Should we do it separately?
Thank you, community.
Say it. Say love your chickens
Love your chickens.
and each other. Do it again.
Love your chickens.
And each other. All right, now we're going to try it out. You guys have a good weekend.
Bye.
Love your chickens.
And each other.
That's better. We'll work on that later, guys.